Well, we have a magic box this morning, which means that we must have a story to tell. So let me see what is in here today. What are we going to be surprised by? Well, I see a few of these around the sanctuary. What are these? Palms. Did somebody bring these back from their spring break vacation? No? No? Okay. Well, I see that there are palm branches over there, and there are a whole lot of palm branches in the flower arrangement, too. And next Sunday is Easter, which means that today is Palm Sunday. So, who knows the Palm Sunday story? Surely some people know the story. Yeah. Well, it's based on a story from the Bible about Jesus, a great Jewish teacher. And he wasn't an official religious leader there, but a lot of people listened to what he had to say because he treated everyone with respect, and he talked about loving God and loving your neighbor, and people could just relate to what he was saying. In this story, on Palm Sunday, Jesus is traveling to the city of Jerusalem to celebrate Passover, which is a Jewish festival about freedom. And he had been walking a long, long time. Of course, in those days, there were no cars or planes or trains to get between cities, so he was walking with his friends. And he was getting really tired. So he asked his disciples, who were his friends and his students, to go on ahead to the next village and get him a donkey to ride the rest of the way. And so they did, and they returned with a donkey for him to ride. Wasn't that nice of them? And as Jesus got closer to Jerusalem, a crowd of people started gathering on the sides of the road, laying down their coats on the road, kind of like rolling out a red carpet for somebody really important who's arriving. And they were waving palm fronds, because palm trees grew there, and they were laying them down on the road, and they were shouting out like crowds would about a celebrity. Oh, look, the king is here. What a blessing. We're so lucky to have him here. We're so excited. And there was this small group of people watching and listening to all of this called the Pharisees. They were a group of the official religious leaders in that place. And they said to Jesus, who was riding there on his donkey, surrounded by people waving their palm fronds, he said, "Tell your disciples to stop and be quiet." They were jealous. They felt threatened. I mean, who is this guy riding into town with everybody praising him and waving palms at him? They were a little threatened by the excitement of the crowd, and they knew that Jesus was a bit of a rebel, so the Pharisees didn't like him. And Jesus' response to the Pharisees was, "I tell you, if they keep quiet, the stones will cry out." The stones will cry out. Has anybody ever heard a stone cry out? Maybe not. But Jesus often talked about things like stones and mustard seeds and trees and other natural things like that as examples to make his point. And this was one of those times. Jesus' point was that this message of peace and love that he had come to share was important. Even if the Pharisees didn't get it, the people needed to hear it. And so maybe even the stones would be crying it out. And he was saying that if you look around, you can see examples of peace and love. And we can too. And we can celebrate them like Jesus and his friends did, even if some people don't quite get it yet. So I invite you this week to look around, to watch and listen for the signs of peace and love, whatever form they may come in, whether it's a stone or palm fronds or a person. And the children, as you go to your classes today, to talk with your friends and your teachers there, to talk with your families this week about what you see and what you experience. So happy Palm Sunday. And now let's sing the children and their teachers to their classes with "Go Now in Peace," which is inside the back cover of your hymnals.